Jordan Fisher. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Zehitomo.com. Zehitomo is a marketplace for local services. So local services are the jobs that happen offline, not online. Like your home services, like an interior designer or a kitchen reform specialist, to event professionals like DJs or photographers, to home and wellness, personal trainers, yoga instructors, you name it. It's a $200 billion market in Japan, yet the online penetration is only 2.5%. So this is one of the largest untapped consumer sectors to see a real online migration. So why is the whole market offline? And the reason is because you have custom requirements. You can't go online and buy the A set or the B set for remodeling your kitchen or for finding your perfect wedding photographer. And similarly, to meet your custom requirements, vendors offer tailored solutions. As a result, you have a very inefficient market. There's no easy way to know what the appropriate price is for my custom needs, and there's no easy way to find the best service providers. So I can search online, I can use the Yellow Pages, I can call people up one by one, or I can go through an agency that may take a hefty cut and not really have my best interests at heart. To give a personal experience, when I moved a couple years ago, we were nearby a train line and we wanted to soundproof the bedrooms. It took nearly a month for a major real estate player. They had to send people down from Osaka to measure the place that they owned. It was ridiculous, and after a month they came back with a price of $40,000. And I thought this was ridiculous. My wife and I searched local vendors. It took a lot of time, it was a big project, but we found somebody who offered the same high quality glass, including the instruction and installation, for only $4,000. We were super happy, they were super happy because they got business, yet it shouldn't have been nearly that hard for us to find each other. So that theme, it's very hard to be a small vendor in Japan. There's a big movement to try to empower freelancers right now, and the majority of our vendors the freelancers are small, medium-sized businesses. And our research shows us that their number one concern is getting new clients. But there's no good way to do so. You can either go through an agency who will manage the relationship and delegate work out to you, but if you want to grow your own business and earn your own clients and your own repeat, you need to kind of either do word of mouth or marketing or advertising, which can be prohibitively expensive as you compete with the major players. So to that extent, we built Zehitomo, which is a win-win solution that lets you find your best options for doing your custom project while also providing a lead generation platform for vendors. This is how it works. You send your custom requirements just once over Zehitomo, and we send that to all of the vendors who express interest in that type of work in that area. Then the vendors who are actually interested, qualified, and available for your specific job will pay to send you a custom quote. In doing that, they'll send their profile full of their reviews, their private message, and their price. And this is one of the best natural quality filters that we found, because only people who are really interested in the job will apply, so you have high quality options come back. And it works as a sustainable business model as a form of lead generation. Then the client, having high quality options, will make a decision, chat over a platform, and hire somebody. So to summarize our business model, we don't take any commission. We think that being in between the job and taking margin is a model of the past when it comes to local services. We don't add any value to either the client or to the vendor if we take a margin in between. It's purely for the middleman to stay in business. But we think that with a lead generation model, it's actually meaningful because we solve the problems that both sides has, which is getting in touch with the right person. So we charge, it varies based on job, somewhere anywhere between 300 yen to 2,000 yen based on the size of the job and the value to the vendor to apply. And as such, again, the client has high quality options come back, and if they decide to hire somebody, they can do it at the best price directly to the vendor. We can see that the natural quality filtering works because vendors get an average of 4.8 stars for completed jobs. And similarly, the vendors give us very high feedback in terms of the ability for them to grow their business and the value of it being a very high quality cost performance and reaching new clients they wouldn't have had the chance to otherwise. So our team is experienced from different industries and quite diverse backgrounds. Personally, I'm an engineer by background, worked in finance in Japan for the last 10 years, solving global problems, building global products with finite resources, and also growing sales organizations. So our progress, we have now over 1,000 new requests coming in weekly. This is people saying, filling out all the questions and putting the personal information, saying they want to, hire a local vendor, and over 50,000 pro registrations. So we are hiring, and we're looking to grow fast. So please do be in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your great pitch. Well, it's time for moving on to the Q&A session.
Thank you.
Do you just explain a bit more about your how you charge the merchants? You mentioned that it's not on a commission basis, but on a per quote basis, right?
Correct. So it's a lead generation model, and you can think of it as a very targeted form of advertising for the professional. So the way that we look at it, if you look at a normal margin business, you would take say 20 to 30% of margin, and I think as a lead generation platform, we get about half of that. But what we don't get is all the operational risk that comes with being in between the model and in between both sides. So if a job is say worth $500, then maybe we would take 1 to 2% of that as the charge for applying to it, and so we could cost 500 yen or 1,000 yen to apply to a job that will give you back that much value. So even if you have to apply several times to get hired once, we think we look at it and we basically scale it dynamically based on the implied ROI to the professional.
So you did a great job explaining your own personal frustration and why you started the company. But you didn't discuss competition, and obviously there's some big companies like Thumbtack, Nextdoor, Yelp. Are you just Me Too in Japan, or is there some other strategy you're thinking about to go after them?
Very good question, thank you. So yes, this model has become the standard globally. I think we're the first to do it and go to market in Japan. But there's in the States, there's Thumbtack, there's HomeAdvisor, there's Porch. Globally, there are a number of players doing this in every other region. So I think we're actually quite fortunate that in Japan there is not so much competition in this space. Local service, there's no one major player, although there is definitely going to be more and more players getting involved. From us, we see it as a matter of speed. Again, we can have a beautiful product and all the professionals in the world, but if we don't have the demand, then there's no business to be had. And so we see the demand that coming through. All of our active users that are coming in via search and other channels is really the key to unlocking business at all. And I'd also say that the synergies overseas are very little. So just because you can hire a plumber in Tokyo, you want to go to France and hire a plumber again. And so I think we see these companies as they go overseas. Like HomeAdvisor in IAC's group is the number one example of somebody that's trying to aggressively go over all of Europe. And I think there's synergies in terms of the know-how and the operation. But all of our global peers are actually very jealous of Japan because it is such a large market, one of the largest developed markets, yet it's relatively untapped. So in terms of going overseas, just because you want to have the local base and local search and stuff, it would probably be with M&A. So that's us going after players as an M&A, as a purchaser, or as an acquisition. I think both are quite viable.
If there are no more questions from the judges, then let's hear it again for him again.
Thank you. And again, we're hiring. Here. Dinner, sales, recruiters.
Okay, so now let's move on to our next